Components of the universe vocabulary. I can describe components of the universe, including stars, nebulae, and galaxies. Starter. A student uses a flashlight to model the sun and foam spheres to represent the moon. The student should shine the flashlight on the model of Earth from position 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, or 8. If the sun is indicated here, a student should flash a flashlight on position 1, representing the new moon position. This would be new moon, waxing crescent, first quarter, waxing gibbous, full moon, waning gibbous, third quarter, waning crescent. Vocabulary. Stars. A star is a sphere of matter with a density and temperature great enough to cause a nuclear reaction, which results in emitting light. Stars are less massive than a galaxy, but more massive than a planet. Stars are classified by temperature and brightness on an HR diagram. HR diagram classifies stars' temperature and brightness. Groups of stars are supergiants, giants, main sequence, and white dwarf. Increasing magnitude is brightness. So from top to bottom, brightness increases. Brightness is luminosity. Temperature. Temperature is going to increase from right to left on the x-axis. So here you have your luminosity, which is brightness, and that increases as you go up on the y-axis. On an HR diagram, stars belong to spectral classes O, B, A, G, F, G, K, M, based upon their surface temperature. Nebulae. A nebula is a cloud of dust and gas that does not emit light. Hydrogen is the most abundant gas and is the fuel source to form stars. Star formation begins here in a nebula. Star nursery. It can develop into two types of stars.
Whatever the day brings, Grammarly helps you communicate smarter, one message at a time.
Space. It's vast and full of secrets waiting to be discovered. Of all the incredible objects scientists have found out among the stars, some of the most spectacular are nebulae. Although most nebulae are completely invisible to the naked eye, modern telescopes are able to give us close-up views of some of the most beautiful objects in the galaxy. A nebula, named for the Greek word for cloud, is in fact an interstellar cloud of dust and gas. Like the clouds in the sky, nebulae come in interesting shapes, like flowers. Insects. Animals. Or people. This is how many of them get their names. There are 4 main types of nebulae. First, there are star-forming regions, also known as stellar nurseries. In these huge areas of hydrogen gas, gravity pulls the materials together into large clumps, which in turn attract more material. More and more gas squeezes together harder and harder, making it grow hotter and hotter. When it becomes hot enough, it will be a new star. Whatever is left over may become planets circling them. An example of a star-forming region, and one of the most famous nebulae in the sky, is the Orion Nebula. The Orion Nebula is the most active area of star formation in our galaxy. Although it is visible to the unaided eye, it is only a vague glow. Through a telescope, the extent of its wonder becomes visible. The Orion Nebula is 15 light-years across and is made mostly of hydrogen. When you look at this nebula, you are looking at stars being born. This nebula gets its glow from something called the trapezium, a cluster of 4 stars, each thousands of times brighter than our sun. Their energy has cleared a space in the gases around them. You can see that other stars are being born inside the nebula too. These ovals are blankets of dust surrounding newborn stars. The rings inside are probably new planetary systems being formed around these stars. 1,300 light-years away, the Orion Nebula is only a little glow in Orion's sword.
Galaxies. A galaxy is a cluster of stars, gas, and dust that's held together by gravity. There's 3 types of galaxies based on shape: elliptical, irregular, and spiral. Types of galaxies. Elliptical. Elliptical galaxies look like a football or an egg. These galaxies contain billions of stars, but have little gas and dust between the stars. Because of lack of gas and dust, new stars cannot form in most elliptical galaxies, and so they contain only old stars. Types of galaxies. Irregular. Some galaxies do not have definable regular shapes and are known as irregular galaxies. They contain young stars, dust, and gas. Types of galaxies. Spiral. Spiral galaxies contain arms wrapped around a central bulge. Contains middle-aged stars. Our Milky Way galaxy is a type of spiral galaxy known as a barred spiral galaxy. Our Sun is a medium star located at the edge of the Milky Way galaxy. Universe. The universe contains galaxies, which are made up of gas, dust, stars, and planets held together by gravity. Vocabulary activity. Complete slides 12 through 14. A star has less mass than a galaxy and more mass than a planet.
I've always loved sci-fi. The idea of being right on the edge of discovery and frontiers of space. It is home to at least 2 trillion different and individual galaxies, which together contain more stars than there are grains of sand on the entire Earth. The distance from Earth to any side of the observable universe is 46.5 billion light-years, which means that the entire width is 93 billion light-years across. What's perhaps even more interesting, however, is what actually lies beyond the observable universe. Keep in mind that the observable universe is all that we can currently see, and it's entirely possible that the rest of the universe outside of it is vastly larger and more fantastic than we can possibly ever imagine. We simply don't know what else is out there because the light from these incredibly distant places has not yet had enough time in the universe's history to reach us yet back on Earth. And the light from some places may never reach us at all. Because some parts of space very far away from Earth are expanding away from us faster than the speed of light, that means that the light from these places will never, in an infinite amount of time, reach Earth. Meaning that even if humanity is eternal and exists forever, there will still be an unknown number of places in the universe that we will never know about or ever see. So, it is very likely that as unbelievably enormous as it seems, the observable universe is just a tiny slice of what we can currently see of the entire universe. According to the theory of cosmic inflation that was proposed by Dr. Alan Guth, if it is assumed that cosmic inflation began at 10 to the negative 37th of a second after the Big Bang, and with the assumption that the size of the universe before inflation began was equal to its age times the speed of light, then this would seem to suggest that at the present day, the entire universe is 150 sextillion times larger than the observable universe. That number for reference looks like this, with this many zeros. Let this number sink in for just a moment. This would be similar to you thinking that the entire observable universe, everything that you could see, was the size of a light bulb, but then realizing that in reality the entire universe is larger than the former planet of Pluto. Imagine a light bulb in the center of Pluto, but we inside the light bulb were totally unaware that Pluto existed outside of it, and that's a similar situation to this. We are all so unbelievably small, but you shouldn't worry, because all that means is that there is so much left out there for us to discover together.
Vocabulary: star. A star is a luminous globe of gas, hydrogen and helium, which produces its own heat and light by nuclear fusion. So you can insert some examples here of a star, and then you can Google an image that's relevant to stars. Type your own definition or sentence here using the word. Nebula. Definition: a nebula, clouds of dust and gas, site of star formation, remains of dead or dying stars. Insert some examples, Google an image, type your own definition or sentence using the word. Galaxy. A system of millions or billions of stars, gas, dust held together by gravitational attraction. Insert your examples, Google an image, and type your own definition or sentence using the word. Universe. The universe contains galaxies, which are made up of gas, dust, stars, and planets held together by gravity. Insert some examples, Google an image, and type your own definition or sentence using the word. Connection. Star connection questions. The universe has many different components. Which list places 4 components of the universe in the most likely order from smallest to largest? So here is a diagram showing you stars, nebula, galaxy, universe. Stars are the smallest in comparison to a nebula, galaxy, or universe, universe being the largest. So here we have a planet smaller than a star smaller than a galaxy, than a nebula. No, because a nebula is smaller than a galaxy. Nebula, stars, planets, no, because a planet would be the smallest. So I'm looking at letter D. Planets, stars, nebula, galaxies. Yes, a planet is smaller than a star is smaller than a nebula is smaller than a galaxy. Connection, star question. The Milky Way galaxy is described as a disk of stars orbiting a central point on the disk. Why can't people on Earth see the entire shape of the Milky Way galaxy? So here is a top view of the Milky Way looking down, and here is a side view. Why can't people on Earth see the entire shape of the Milky Way galaxy? It's because we are part of it. We are in it, so we cannot see the entire shape. For your exit today, you're going to complete Components of the Universe Schoology quiz.